she lives with the bang bang and the clank clank. Can I hear the bang bang and the clank clank? Bang bang, clank clank. She lives with the beatboxers. And she lives, and she really doesn't like it. She really doesn't like living in the boom boom and the clank clank of the city. She really doesn't like it. She wasn't made for that. She was not made for the city. She was made for the forest. And so she leaves the city. She says, bye bye, city. And she goes, and she wanders with no feet on. No shoes on. Lots of feet on. And she wanders to the edge of the forest. And there she can hear. Oh, she can hear the sound of her heart. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's so nice to be able to hear the sound of her heart. It's so nice. And she can hear the birds. And she can hear the trees rustling in the wind. And she knows that this is the place that she belongs. This is her place. And so she goes. And there's a humongous tree. It's a beautiful tree with amazing roots that go deep down into the deepest parts of that earth. And she builds a little hut there. She's lucky, she's allowed. She builds this little hut there. And it's just beautiful. And she's got a little fireplace. And she spends all of her days weaving and sewing and singing. La 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 luna, la 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 luna. Singing to the moon. She loves the moon. I love you, moon. She says, I love you too. She thinks she hears it whisper. And these birds, there are birds. What kind of birds are they? They're kind of birds. And they're in this tree. And they love this woman. They love her dearly. And they have a beautiful friendship. And they speak and they talk. And they bring her little gifts. She gives them little gifts. And it's really beautiful until it's winter. And it's freezing. It's so cold this winter, isn't it? One of the birds says to the other, oh, it's so cold. I think we might need to leave. Oh, but I don't want to leave her. But she's worried because she knows that the birds cannot reach the warmth of the fire. And so she says, birds, go south. Go south. You have to go south. And the birds know it's true, for if they do not go south, they will no longer be able to go any direction. And so they go, and they fly, and they fly, and they fly, and they fly. Let me see you fly. And they fly, 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 until they meet the north wind. Birds, what are you doing? Flying south. You should fly north. And the north wind knew that if the birds were to fly south, that they would go to the sun. But if they were to fly north, they would be his. And he loves birds. He loves them. He loves to eat them. But the birds, they say, no, she told us. She told us to go to the south, and so we will go. Who is she? And the birds didn't want to say, but they looked at the tree, and then they flew off. And so he went, and he went down, and he went deep down, and he smashed through her garden, and he opened the door. And then he saw her. Oh, he saw her beautiful heart. Oh, and he saw her eyes that looked like the sunrise, and he saw her fingers, and he loved her, and he said, come with me. No, she said, no, come with me. No, I will not come with you. And so he felt rage, he felt deep rage inside of him. How dare she say no to me? And he exited the house, and he flew back, and he destroyed everything that came in his way, for nobody would say no to him and get away with it. And he had to show how strong he was. He had to show how wild he was. He had to show what kind of person he was. And well, the sun was watching all of this and thought, wow, something's really got into that north wind. I want to go check it out. And so the sun followed the north wind to the tree and followed him into the house, and then opened the doors, busted open, and he saw her. Oh, he saw her beautiful mouth, and he wanted to touch it. He saw her softness. He saw her kindness. He saw that she surely belonged not to this earth. And he said, you will come with me. And she said, no. She couldn't hardly see him in the dazzling of his brightness. And he said, you will come with me. She said, no. And the son couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. He couldn't take that rejected part. He'd never been rejected. He couldn't take that vulnerable part. He couldn't show. He couldn't go to that vulnerable place inside of himself. And so he shined even more. He shined even brighter. And he went out and he shined the shiniest sunshine you've ever seen. Everybody, let's be the sun. And he said, no, nobody. Look how hard men so shiny. Even though that place inside of him was weeping to be seen. And wow, the Northern Lights, they got a whiff of this.